Welcome back. You're welcome. Sorry. First time to Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. I had some parking issues. Right, I told you yesterday that today I was going to feature is it the president or the chairman? The president.
Chairperson.
Chairperson of Wimbiz. Now, Wimbiz is an acronym for Women in Business. And I remember way back then, if I remember, it's almost about 10 years, more than 10 years.
It's 19 years.
19 years. It sounds like yesterday.
It's been around for 19 years.
Yes. And I remember it was Mrs. Zacchaeus then, that got me involved in what was a small association of women in business. And I'm proud to say that I'm happy that you're here, Mrs. Ihembe. I got that right?
Yes.
Good.
Wankwo. They've paid dowry, so you have to add the one.
But your name is so long. I had to do some pronunciation, but she's the chairperson. And I don't normally do this, but I must say that I've been quite impressed about the growth of Wimbiz. That's because when it started, now you should be telling me this, but I'm telling you this. When it started, it was like just women in business. A few women got together. But I've seen so many young people grow and benefit from this organization. And I remember about 3 years ago, I had to push my two daughters to make sure that they joined the organization, because usually I'm sorry to say this, but usually when you have a women's organization, you think of tittle tattle, things like that. But I've attended about let me get this right. I think I attended about 2 or 3 conferences in between. And there was one particular one that had I've forgotten the name now. And I was involved in it. And I was quite impressed with the amount of, developmental work that had gone in for women. So, I made myself a member. Yeah, I made myself.
You're an honorary member. You're a he for she.
I don't have a he for she. I know that's been making the rounds now. That's a risky thing to say. If you get me. Yes, that's a risky thing to say. But in all honesty, I'd like you to put me through what exactly Wimbiz does now. I'm sure that from the time it started about 19 years ago, that is still fresh in my head, a lot of things have taken place. So what's the real focus of Wimbiz now?
So to start off with, Wimbiz is actually Women in Management, Business and Public Service. So when we started off, we were primarily management and business.
Yes.
And a few years ago, we added public service to it because we recognize that you need women to be pulling across all 3 of those pillars for us to really make a difference. To summarize what we do, we're really about, we're a catalyst, so we make things happen. And for us, it's about ensuring that we have more women in leadership positions, and that women and our contribution to nation building is appropriately acknowledged. And because we really think that, you can't fly a plane with just one engine, right? You need both engines. And I think as a country, we want to see both sides pulling together. And I'm always quick to say that it's not a gender war. It's about working together to make our country much better than it is.
When you talk about acknowledgement, I'm a bit... my spirit goes down slightly. I thought it was more to encourage women involvement rather than for their role to be acknowledged.
No. Well, your role will be acknowledged because it is seen, right? And for it to be seen, you've got to be doing it.
Do you think that women are shortchanged in the Nigerian society? I don't think so anymore.
Mr. Disu, there are a number of examples, and I'm sure there's a nice young lady sitting next to you. I'm sure she's not an example. She can share a lot of stories.
That's my guy. I have a favor.
She can share a lot of examples.
Do you think? I don't think women are short-minded.
I
think women who can hold their own.
I wouldn't say that they're shortchanged. I wouldn't use that term.
Sorry, that was what I used.
However, let's look at the statistics, right? women make up half the population. We agree. Yes.
No, but they say there are more men
but let's
than women.
agree. But how much
I
more?
can't agree to that.
Okay, let's say 51-49.
Even though I'm a he, she, in
Okay,
this
let's
case I'm
agree
a he.
49 women, 51 men.
No,
Will you accept that?
No.
Okay, what would you accept?
70-30.
Okay, not a problem. Let's stay
There are
with your
more men than
70-30.
women.
Okay,
Sorry, there are more women than men.
Yeah. So
yeah.
thank you.
She
Because I
confused me.
I was-
She was winking and waving her finger.
Okay, so if we say that there are more women, but I would give it to everybody and say, let's say we're half and half, right?
Okay, let's say we're half
Okay.
and half. Fair
Let's
deal.
look across businesses in Nigeria. Let's look at women in leadership positions and look at what the
Yes.
statistics are.
Yes.
Let's look at the corporate world. I think people always say the financial services industry has done well, and they have. But if we look at listed or quoted companies and look at leadership, I'm not sure it's 50-50. And when we come to political representation, it's certainly not 50-50.
Political representation, you have to fight for it. Women have to fight for it.
Yes, that's so we
I
talk
believe
about
that,
it.
I believe there are equal opportunities
Of course.
there. Yeah.
So the idea is for us to inspire women to dream big, to empower them with the knowledge and the confidence.
Bigger than their husbands.
And the network. Mr. Disu, I don't understand the direction of this conversation.
No, it's a dream big. I'm just saying, there are a lot of guys out there who don't want their wives to be quote and unquote bigger than them.
I don't think so. I think every man wants to make sure that his wife fulfills her
I do.
fullest potential.
Okay, that's good. I do. Just kidding.
So our men are awesome. We don't have men who want to.
You don't have to wink when you say that. That means that you don't believe your men are awesome.
No, our men are awesome.
You reckon?
I mean, look at you.
I'm awesome. I know that. There's somebody who tells me that every morning at 6 o'clock. He's not somebody you know. But talking seriously,
Yes.
the part that thrills me is the number of young people you've been. Do you have the numbers with you?
Yes. So
You've been able to develop that. I know.
yes. So we've been doing a lot of statistics, just trying to measure our impact. And as of our 19th year, we've impacted directly 211 or so thousand women in Nigeria.
Beautiful.
Across various age
What's your
ranges.
membership like now?
So we have associate members.
Okay.
Last week we inducted 119 new associates. So in total we have 895 associate members.
Now, do you need a minimum qualification
Yes.
to become a member? Oh, I see.
So there is a process, a membership process. There's a form that needs to be filled. There's a membership committee.
So it's not like
there's a
admission
process.
like to churches when they say who's coming here for the first time. You raise up your hand, they move you into one room, give you a soft drink and biscuits, and then you become a member. It's not like that.
Not like that at all.
What's the minimum qualification to be a Wimbiz associate member?
So you have to have a degree. And you have to be a woman in management, business, or public service. So you either have to be running a business, or you have to be at a certain level in the business, or if you're working in the corporate space, you have to have attained a certain position. You have to have attended a certain number of Wimbiz programs. You have to have a vision for yourself as an associate. So in part of the forms that we give you, you have to tell us why you want to be a member, almost like an essay. And it's really for us to make sure that we get women that are really passionate and driven to succeed, and also to pull other women up.
Isn't that a bit elitist? There are no apologies if it is.
We have a certain mandate. We can't be all things to everyone.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but what about, do you have any program for the very young ones, like
Yes.
the ones in
Oh,
uni?
Yes. So we do have an age sort of threshold. I think our age threshold is 25. But over the last many years, actually, we have two programs that have specifically worked with people younger than that.
Yeah.
So the first of those is we have a program called Winning Without Compromise, where we go to universities. And we've gone to at least, I think, about 13 or 14 universities. And we do sort of a one-day mini conference program for them, where we talk about the things that Wimbiz stands for. We go to share knowledge, we network, we inspire them. So that's the one thing that we do. We have another program called the Big Sister Program, where we go into secondary schools and target specifically girls in the sort of the last year or the year before the last. And we talk to them about, thinking about their future, making plans, goal setting, personal hygiene, instilling confidence, just helping them to sort of see a brighter future. And we use our associate members as well. They volunteer to go in, so they're almost sort of mentoring the young ladies and helping them to keep the vision.
I hope this also applies to public schools.
Yes, in fact, it does. In fact, it's primarily public schools.
Oh, I see. So it's
Yes.
not some
No,
elitist.
no.
Yeah, okay. That's nice. I think that. What's that finger now? Oh, you're treating your finger. Okay. I do think it is. I do think that a lot of our young people need some direction. I think in terms of the curriculum in school, there's a bit of a failure in that direction. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. And I'm talking in general. Of course, the real high-profile private schools take care of that. But let's talk about general. And I'm glad you're there to fill that gap. So, essentially, an associate member is not a full member. So, who is a full member?
No. An associate member is a full member.
Is a full
It's a
member. So,
full
why is he an
member.
associate?
That's what we call the membership.
Are you an associate member?
I am.
Ah,
I'm an
okay.
associate.
I thought there was a.
So we're all associates.
So it's more of an appendage than some title or whatever it is.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. So what am I?
You're our. What do we call it? What did I say initially?
You don't even know who I am.
Honorary member. You're a he for she.
I'm a he
Actually,
for
you're a
she.
Wimbiz ambassador. So we actually have male Wimbiz ambassadors. And
When did I become? Where's my letter of?
So let me go back and regularize
One
after I've gotten permission.
thing I
But
don't
let's
want.
call you an honorary ambassador.
But let's be
today.
very careful here. I don't want any risky business. If you get what I'm Okay, so if you want to be part of this conversation, we're going to open up our lines. 0700-993-993-993. In this particular case, I really don't need to ask you to be too careful because we are not talking politics. It's when it comes to political things. But still do be careful. We'll open up our lines very soon after we take a break. There's an annual conference every year. This year's conference is about what now?
So this year's conference comes up tomorrow, the 6th
Yes.
of November. And the theme of the conference is the shift. Recalibrate. So we've chosen the theme because 2020 has been one of those years. Everything has shifted.
I can't wait for it to
changed.
end.
Oh my goodness. And so we're saying, we recognize a lot has happened, but we're saying instead of sort of hunkering down and being sad, let's think about what more can we do? How can we recalibrate?
Okay, let me take a short break then. When we do come back, then we can continue with the discussion in that direction. Okay. Well, it's the morning digest with Jimi Disu. I have Mrs. Ihembe. Did I get that right? Wankwo. Mrs. Ihembe. What's the first name?
Ngove.
Mrs. Ngove Ihembe Wankwo. She's here. She's the chairperson of Wimbiz. She's an associate chairperson. Is that right?
I'm the chairperson of the Wimbiz Executive Council.
But you're
If you want to give the titles, and I'm an associate member.
But
member
you know
since
Nigerians are
2010.
titles. Somebody is a governor. You have to put is an executive governor. Okay, so we'll take the short break now, and then we'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. Daily Digest returns in a moment.
Uncle Suru, I'm off to Surulere. I heard if I met Two-Face, I'm gonna become a big star. Uncle Suru, they say that I'm daydreaming.
them go use you.
Now, with your Momo agent, you fit send and receive money, plus to withdraw money for your bank account without card or data. You fit also buy airtime and data or pay any kind bill where you want. Just dial *223# to see the Momo agent when near you. Momo agent. Safe, fast, no wahala.
Every day, someone stands a chance to be a winner.
Really?
Yes. 50,000 naira every week on Just a Minute Game Show. Just call into any of our shows. The Morning Crossfire, What's Up Lagos, The Sunny Side, and Hard Facts. Answer as many questions as possible within 60 seconds, and we'll be giving out 50,000 naira every week. Yes! 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 Winners will be announced on Hard Facts with Sandra Ezekrisili. Just a Minute, the game show for everyone on your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Peace, our home. Oh, your peace, our goal. Everyone has a place they need to be. Everyone has a face they need to see. When you go away, you love to fly, and we fly you safely through the sky. Ticket affordable, city comfortable, we very reliable. We care for you. At peace, our home. Oh, if you're gonna
For bookings and more, visit our website today on www.flyairpeace.com.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This is Daily Digest with Jimi Disu.
Yeah, you're welcome back to Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. And I do have Mrs. Ngo Ihembe. Yes, she's the chairperson of Wimbiz in Nigeria. And I also would like to do a shout out to Mrs. Aziz, who is watching us from only God knows where. And to say she still lost a cake here because we said happy birthday on her birthday. By the way, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook Live, so you can watch us worldwide and see what exactly is going on in the studio. I think I have a caller there. Hello? Hello? We lost the call. Okay. Now, you were talking about this year's conference.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, please go on, sorry.
So this year's conference is coming up, I said, on the Friday, the November 6th, which is tomorrow. And the theme of our conference this year is the shift, recalibrate.
Okay.
2020 has been an epic year on many, many, many fronts.
Mm-hmm.
We've, dealing with an unforeseen pandemic, a number of other issues, widespread chaos, disruption.
Yes.
And, the typical reaction to things like this is sort of just to hunker down and, just self-preservation. And what we're saying is we would like people to think a little differently about the disruption and look for the green shoots of opportunity.
Okay.
We want people to rise above it. We want people to thrive. And so the conference seeks to help people to think differently, to listen to some really inspiring speakers. We're going to be talking a lot about leadership.
Okay.
And leadership in times of crisis, and what sorts of leadership we encourage and we think creates sustainability and long-term success. And it's really about just embracing the new normal that we find ourselves in.
Well, what are the lessons do you think we have learned from two issues? One, the COVID. Well, COVID isn't over, but what do you think are the lessons we've learned as we are still in COVID? And then after that, I'd like you to look at the EndSARS incident, which is very significant. I hope people appreciate that the EndSARS whatever we had about 2 weeks ago is a new Nigeria we're looking at, whether we like it or not. And the earlier we recognize it, the better. Let me give you an example just to. This morning I opened the newspapers, somebody turned 70. No problem with that. Then had about 20 to 30 pages of adverts. And so I rushed into the studio. First thing I did this morning was to alert people to the fact that we're living in a new Nigeria that doesn't tolerate things like that for your own safety. Okay? The new Nigeria demands or dictates that you need to cover up your backside, you know. You need to be very careful about what you show off. Because you see, it's not the NSAS program itself, it's the aftermath. Where you found, for example, in Calabar, that is a normally peaceful environment, people got so enraged after going to loot all the palliatives and so on and so forth, went to a psychiatric hospital. It happened also in Abeokuta, and even stole things, took things, even the bed sheets and so on. Now, they didn't even stop there. Wild as they got, and the way hunger and whatever does, they also went to the Center for Diseases and took everything inside, including the pajamas and the who would do that normally? And then the part that bothers me the most is they went to individual houses. Yeah. A bit of that happened. So I had, this morning I had to tell, I'm using this opportunity again to tell Nigerians that you need to be careful and be conscious of the new country that you live in. The first, the first line of action in security is to be sensible. The country has little tolerance for things like show off and so on and so forth. So, in general terms, what lessons do you think we've learned from the two episodes this year?
You know, the interesting thing is I think the lessons are actually similar.
Okay.
And I think the first lesson for me is that the pursuit of success.
Yes.
Without consideration for community, for the less privileged, for the vulnerable members of society, is dangerous and is unsustainable. So when we look at COVID, for example, it's shown us that we don't exist in a bubble.
Yeah.
No matter how, and I know a lot of people who really took the precautions very, very seriously, and still the infection came in.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's always a weak link. So that saying that we're as strong as our weakest link is very true. And so for me, I think that when you come to that realization that you cannot succeed if your brothers are hungry or unwell or uncared for, no matter how much you are well taken care of, you are not immune. And I think that also translates into what we're seeing now with a lot of the civil unrest.
Yes.
And it's really a call for all of us to be our brothers and sisters keepers.
Yeah.
I think unless we go back to the basics, where amenities are provided for all, not for the few. A good quality of education provided for everyone. So it's not okay that you can access it because you have a bit more money. We have to care about what everybody can access because it has an impact on us in one way or the other.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that's the fundamental, pivotal lesson of 2020.
And the conference will be addressing something like that.
Yes, our conference is going to talk a lot about leadership. It's going to talk about what we call authentic leadership, which is developing a style of leadership that thinks about others, that puts the community, that puts everybody into sort of the thought process. So it's not about a linear growth. It's not about, let's make the most money, let's get the most branches, it's about what is growth? How inclusive is it? How sustainable is it? So we're talking a lot about that. We're also going to talk a lot about political representation as well. One of our sessions is about that. And it's about encouraging women to secure their seats and to amplify our voice.
Are you going to be encouraging young women to go into what they call the murky waters of politics?
We are encouraging all women to participate in the political process.
Okay.
And there are a number of ways you can participate. We can't all vie for office, right?
Yes.
But there are lots of things that need to go into someone being a successful political office holder. So there's the campaigning, there's the fundraising, there's strategy, there's communication. And so what we're saying to women is it's not okay to sit on the sidelines.
And just be praise singers every time the politicians show up.
You know, no. Enough of the dancing. Let's sit down together, strategize together, and make a commitment that we want to see more women. And we are the ones that will put more women, not sitting down and hoping somebody gives positions. It's about us organizing, encouraging, supporting, telling each other the truth, but at the same time driving for a better Nigeria.
Your conference is a 2-day conference, am I right?
It's a 1-day conference.
It's 1 day.
Typically it's 2 days.
Oh, okay.
And we have it in a big conference hall. Last year we had just under 2,000 people, and we have a lot of fun things around it. This year we've gone fully virtual because of the times that we're in. And when we thought about it during the planning, keeping people riveted to a computer for 2 days or a device for 2 days straight, we thought would be a lot very tasking. So we condensed the program into a 1 day, but we've managed to keep all the interesting elements still within it. So we've got a networking session in the morning. We call it a networking breakfast, the virtual breakfast. Then we have the conference starting at 9 o'clock. Right up until 5 o'clock, we have our debate. We have an exciting debate. Title of the debate is Virtual Our Reality, Love It or Loathe It. And then we also have a hangout after a virtual hangout.
Our Reality talks a bit about the social media, kind of.
No, it talks about the fact that we're now in a virtual
world, yes, and the social media inclusive.
Yes.
I'll leave you out of that funny area.
Thank you.
I know. I saw your eyes lit up. Now, what would make me do that is you have to bribe me by telling me that this conference is open to anybody.
The conference is open to anybody.
Oh, then you have my
everybody.
support. Oh, that's very good.
So
all our young people can
please register to attend.
Okay.
Go to our website. www.wimbiz.org.
You're going to get a bill from Mrs. Chidi downstairs.
Please go to the Wimbiz website. Google us. You will
find
us.
everything there. Yes. Mrs. Chidi is going to
okay. Mrs. Chidi, please. It was a mistake.
Just make an honorary member. Now, so it's available to everybody. Now, the question that would be on the minds of people is that do you pay anything to become a member?
Yes, there's a process and there's a membership fee. To join, and then there's an annual membership fee of 25,000, which is not a lot.
Okay, no, but you don't take tithes or anything.
We don't.
You don't take offerings.
So we got people time, and that's why people that are passionate, that are dedicated to the, and are willing to roll up their sleeves and get to work.
Look, I feel a bit ashamed here that women are doing all this and the men are doing nothing, and I'm wondering, have you ever thought that, I know it's a secret for most of you women, you like to be a step ahead of the men, no problem. But do you think it's necessary for men to do so likewise?
I think it's necessary for everyone to come together to build a stronger country. I think we were talking earlier on about mentoring. Yes. And I think that there's but in a small way, bigger way, into things when I go to more men out there think as Boy Scout in Form 2, it was called Form then, that's what would be JS2, we were drafted to the stadium to keep security. Really?
Yes. Onikon Stadium. We were drafted, we were drafted, various Boy Scouts in full uniform. We were drafted to join in keeping security, at a young age. And then we had something we call Bob a Job Week, where you go out. These are the things that maketh the man, and they are missing. I got a caller. Hello, morning. Morning. I missed that one. Let's try another one. Hello, morning. Morning.
Hello, good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Morning.
I'm your lovely guest. I'm Adibimpe from Megbeda.
Yes, Madam Adibimpe, how can we help you today this morning?
Okay, to your guest, thanks, ma, for the beautiful initiative.
Yes.
Like you said, you go to schools, universities, and all that. But I also feel the bridge between, you said there are requirements to join the association, and you have to have a degree and all that. Yes, but I also feel that the bridge between the ones that don't have those degrees, but have something to give from their own aspect. How are you thinking in bridging that connection together?
Okay.
Thank you.
You got the thrust of what she's saying. Let me just, for the benefit of our listeners, she's wondering why it's only those with degrees that there are some people that don't have degrees but have a lot to offer. So, in that, you want to answer
So, the forum has a number of different sections, right?
Okay.
And we do have business people who don't have degrees, but have run their business for a number of years and can demonstrate that they have the passion and they are certainly considered.
Yes.
I think the other question that I heard, in what Adebimpe was trying to say was, how do we bridge the gap generally between sort of the women that are in our catchment area and perhaps other women? And Wimbiz as an organization is part of a number of other coalition of organizations. So we work with African women in business. We work with other Nigerian women-focused organizations, and we collaborate together. We sort of form joint committees, joint initiatives. And the idea is that everybody doing their own little bit, when we all come together, we're a formidable force.
Are you afraid... When I say afraid, so we can get away with that word. Are you afraid that if you expanded, you might lose focus? That you'd rather be a nuclear unit and spread your influence, but still remain a nuclear unit so you can remain focused? Do you have such
I think focus is for us very critical. And one of the things I said when I was saying what Wimbiz is we're a catalyst. So we don't want to be all things to everyone because we really want to have meaningful impact. But we want to catalyze others to do. So we're happy, and I see many of our associates who've gone on to form their own organizations. Either that they're looking at women that are much younger, or they're looking at women in a particular geographic location. But for us, it's please come, take inspiration, take ideas, and be catalyzed to go and do something wonderful and awesome.
Let me throw you under the bus a little bit. You've been too comfortable in that chair. A member of the House of Assembly, he apologized later, but castigated young people. He castigated the youth in his address. You heard about it, Desmond Elliott, and what he said. Let me put it on record that he apologized for what he said. But the issue he raised, I'd like you to comment on, where he believes that the young people are not, to put it mildly and the most politely, living up to expectation, and he's a bit worried out there about the narrative that's going on amongst young people. Does that bother you? Do you agree with him? Remember, he apologized.
I'll first start by saying that Wimbiz as an organization is non-partisan.
No, I'm talking about you personally.
I want to make it clear that I'm speaking as government. I'm not speaking as Wimbiz.
Yes.
So I don't agree with him. And the reason I don't agree with him is because I think, and there's a famous saying, and I might get it wrong, but I think people get the gist. It's not about what others can do for you. It's about what you can do. So I think we always need to look inward first. Look in the mirror first. What have I done? And if you can satisfy yourself and say, I've done everything and I'm not wanting in any way, and these youths are saying A or B, then they have a problem. Where I have an issue with that statement was I didn't see any self-reflection. I didn't see a sense of what could we have done differently or better.
Yes.
And then you try all of that. And I think also tarring everybody with the same brush, it's unfair.
Yes.
Whether we're, in our 60s, 70s, 10-year-olds, they're good and they're bad eggs. So it's not, I think it's not fair to label a whole group.
Yes.
You will certainly have some bad eggs, but you also have some great good eggs. So you kind of throw the baby out with the bathwater when you make blanket statements like that. So I don't agree.
Do you think there's a bit of fright in the reaction of the older generation to what happened at the NSAS? Do you see there's a bit of panic there? I wake up, oh God, where did this shootout from?
Yes. I mean, I think there's a bit of surprise.
I saw it coming, though.
I think there's a bit of surprise. But the truth is that it's a very unequal society. And where you have the democracy of being able to communicate, then people will agitate. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
And then when you add on, let's not, diminish the impact that the pandemic has had on people's lives. That has created, it's almost like a pressure cooker. So that pressure is squeezing people.
Link.
And as you're squeezing, there's going to be an explosion, right?
Okay, there's a nexus between, yes, because they had been locked down, most people on daily income and whatever had been squeezed. And now that. We do need to be careful, though. 3 months from now, 4 months from now, what do you think? Where do you think it would be?
I think that there are two paths. I think we're at a crossroad.
Yes.
I think we've learned some very interesting lessons from 2020 so far. If we take those lessons,
you think so,
and make a change in the way that we are living our lives and looking at them, I think that there's a real chance that Nigeria can evolve much better.
Do you think we could have a repeat of that? Especially, I hope we don't, but do you have a fear that we could have a repeat? Especially of the violence part is the part that bothers me the most.
Yeah, it does bother everyone, to be honest. It bothers me too. And I mean, if I had a crystal ball, I'd be able to predict. But it's very hard to predict what sets people off. It's very hard.
But you also believe that I wasn't raising an undue panic this morning. I'd like you to react to what I said when somebody turned 70, blah, blah, noise and everything. Do you think my reaction was valid? Do you think it's enough to set anybody thinking that these days you better be careful how you show off what you consider to be your successes and this and that?
I would even look at it a little bit differently.
Okay.
Right? I think each of those adverts costs money, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's getting to the stage where we need to think a little differently about how we celebrate.
Okay.
And how we support communities around us as we celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
So you see with a number of people, and people do it quite a lot, where they say, look, on my birthday, I don't want gifts, I don't want this.
Yes.
But I recognize that there's a need, and I'd like you to join me to either rebuild a school, rebuild a hospital, go to a school, go to an orphanage. And I think that is where we need to get to. And I think what will happen is people who continue to do what you said that you saw this morning will begin to look like people who are out of touch with the reality. Of the environment that they're in. And I think that's where the danger lies, because if you're a leader and you're out of touch, then you can't be an effective leader.
Right. You can see my eyes are darting over all the TVs and here. Yes, that's because for those who are interested in American politics, Biden needs, anybody who's going to be president needs 270 votes in the Electoral College, and Biden now has 253, while Mr. Donald Trump has 213. Have you been following American politics?
I've been saying that my heart can't take it. I look at it.
So what I said, you look at it and come back.
I'm just like, oh.
But definitely, I'm sure you'll agree with me that the world is no longer the same. It's not the world I was born into.
It's not.
You know what I said this morning? That if Trump knew he was going to do all this ruffle, there are people he could have hired here. We have a lot of Professor Emeritus in ruffle politics. They'd have given him 1 or 2 hints. Where you now have, for example, I think it was in Arizona, you have people surrounding the counting center, Trump supporters and so on. If you wanted, we have guns for hire in other areas. They'll be more than glad to help him with things like that. But I'm so worried. But I'd like to thank Wimbiz for what you're doing. And maybe I should take one more call. Can I take one more call?
Sure.
Yeah, before I let you go. Hello, morning. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir. Who's calling?
My name is Kayode Mogaji. I'm calling from Australia.
Kayode Mogaji, how are you?
I'm very fine.
They could have hired some of your people to help Trump in America now.
I knew you were going to say that.
APC. You have enough emeritus professors in your party. Who will tell him how you always deal with us in Lagos.
And the media representative is speaking with me right now.
Okay, quickly, Kayode. Just got 1 minute before I get out of here.
Yeah, let me. The Wimbiz people are doing.
Oh.
She said something, Uncle Jimmy. Those who try to whip it aside by saying women have equal opportunities with men.
Yes.
Uncle Jimmy, it's not possible. Not even in politics. It's absolutely not possible.
Yes.
It's not possible because you have to try twice as nice or try as much as a woman to get alphas recognized. Like the structure already puts you down there as a woman, and you have to go out of what you're made of.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you have a woman leader and no man leader. The distinction is made at that level. Yeah.
Exactly. So that seems like they've already set a particular standard that you can get the woman. And it's unfortunate we have just a minute. But I did something last year. I worked on a project with a UK firm that had to do with secondary schools. And I think you begin to build a leader from secondary schools. You have to do with public schools. Uncle Jimmy, it's difficult for women in Nigeria of today. With my experience, going to about 230 schools.
Okay, Kayode, I got to go. Okay, madam. Thank you very much. The conference is free, right? And it's
not
tomorrow.
Free. You have
it's
to
free
register.
to attend.
It's not free to attend.
No, you don't pay.
You pay to attend. You register and you pay.
Did you say it was free?
I said it's open to everyone.
Open to everyone, but you pay.
You register to attend.
Oh. Aren't you going to be donating some free spaces to certain?
We do have free spaces, and we have given out quite a number of free spaces, and we continue to. For anybody who wants a free ticket, please send us an email, and we will consider. We actually have people who have donated seats, tickets. So please let us know.
Well, I'm thinking of like some young girls, 16, 17, who, they can take advantage of that.
Yes, certainly.
Okay, so they can send mails and
send an
email and apply.
Yes, please.
Okay, so if you're out there, let me let you run that email because I'd like free spaces for a lot of young people out there. Yes.
So our website is www.wimbiz.org. You can send an email address to me, ecchairperson@wimbiz.org.
Yes.
Or just go to the website and you'll find our numbers. Call us.
Okay, or you send me an email and I forward it to them. I got to get out of here. I have less than a minute. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
I hope to see you again next year.
I'll certainly be here.
I'll see all of you. I'll be with all of you tomorrow, 9:00 in the morning. Okay, go out there and have a lovely day, and see you tomorrow. Bye.